Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Perfect, yeah, because we're all.
Roll call.
This is the May 13, 2019 Freeholder meeting. Roll call, Freeholder Fantasia here. Freeholder Grant will be here in a few minutes. Freeholder Hertzberg.
Here.
Freeholder Patillo. Freeholder Director Yardley.
Here. Okay, I'd like to stand, have a moment of silence. Please walk out with a moment of silence. Lexi Faye, who recently passed away in a terrible automobile accident. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, has been made by regular mail, such notice being submitted on January 3rd, 2019 from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act.
Okay. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, against approved. Proclamations and presentations. Sylvia, you're going to present the Eagle Scout
I'm
Award.
going to present them on Sunday, but you want me to take the, you want me to take the mental health?
Okay, are you doing one of those? Okay, yes, do the mental health. And then we'll go over it. And that will be presented on the 31st.
The Older Americans, there's people here to do the Older Americans one today.
Oh, so, okay, because it says 5:31, but we'll do it tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that one.
Proclamations tonight, and then Wednesday is that selected night, which is always a great day. Cynthia, do you want to come up for this award? Is Cynthia here?
Do a mental health now?
Yes,
Okay.
please. We're going backwards, I know.
We have quite a few mental health people here as well.
Yes, please come up.
So everybody here.
Everybody come up, that's involved. This is a great team.
Yep.
It's a big team. It's a great team.
A lot of people here.
A lot of good work. A lot of good work. You know, every time we have a proclamation, there's always a color related to whatever we're giving.
Right.
And Dawn always has the color on. And I'm never fast enough to have the color, so I actually looked it up, and they said green.
Yeah.
So I watched it over tonight, I'm wearing green. Come sit over here, please.
I didn't even notice it was color.
I know, well, no, yeah. It's actually green or red, they said. But come on, I feel like I have a choir. Come on, This is a great group. They work so hard. They do so much, and they do it behind the scenes, and they're just amazing people, so I'm really honored to be able to read this. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is research that animal companionship, humor, spirituality, religion, recreation, social connections, and work-life balance can help all Americans protect their health and well-being. And whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health and other chronic health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizens shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support preventive efforts. Whereas the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders calls upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Sussex County to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. The steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions at all stages. Whereas the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby agrees to work collectively with the Mental Health Board in order to improve the quality and availability of services to the mentally ill and reduce stigma associated with mental illness. Now therefore be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Sussex County Mental Health Board, the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby officially designates May 2019 as Mental Health Month in Sussex County by order of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Freeholder Director Herbert Yardley, Deputy Director Sylvia Patillo, and Freeholders Dawn Fantasia, Joshua Hertzberg, and George Graham. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can never say enough about people that do the things that you do. And one of the things I know, one of the initiatives last year that we started was the Changing Direction.
Right.
And I learned a lot from that initiative, and that initiative is there to teach all of us a lot. But one of the things is how to really see the 5 signs, to acknowledge those 5 signs. And you have the booklets here if you want to pass them out. And then once you acknowledge it, what do? You don't shy away from that person, you engage that person. You sit with that person, you talk to the person, you gain their trust, and then you help lead them to counseling or anywhere else that you can find to get them the help that they need. And I think that's what it's all about when you're talking about the community, is that we have to, as a community, put that stigma aside. We have stigmas for so many things, for people that may be different at times. We all go through difficult times. I mean, I certainly do. I have my ups and my downs, and then sometimes I can sit with my husband and he kind of gets me back together, because sometimes if you just go through stress, it's just normal stress. For others, they go deeper into a depression, or they have other issues that show up. And one of the things that I just read in that proclamation was about animals, and how true that is, that sometimes a cat or a dog that comes into that home can just uplift somebody, something as simple as having that pet. But we are all responsible for everybody around us. So I just ask, along with all these wonderful people here, to really take the time to get to know your neighbor, to listen to them. You say, how you feeling? Really mean that. You're saying, how are you feeling? What can I do for you today? And if you need help, let me help you get that help. So I don't want to continue to talk. Would you like to say something?
I just wanted to make you aware, these are the newest brochures that were designed by the technical school to promote the Change Direction campaign, which we're continuing to promote.
It's a great little pamphlet.
And we will pass them out. And
would anyone like to speak?
I wanted just, if I could, just up here, extend how important awareness of mental health is. I don't think I know too many people that haven't had some sort of event, some short term, some long term. I think it's one of the biggest hidden secrets that we have, and people feel sometimes ashamed, or you don't understand, or you don't know, or So I really support you. I think that the work you're doing is great. And so we talked about a pet, and I have a great backstory. You'll see him when it comes to building stuff. He's just tells me when things get rough, calm down. So, but you have our support, and you're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now you want to say something?
No, just thank the Freeholders for their support, and for us as a community of providers, we really want to come together and give more people the opportunity to recover and be healthy. So it's all that encouragement of reach out and get some help. This is
Right, engage people, don't walk away. The other thing is, I think Wednesday night you're coming down to the Packard Wellness
Thursday.
Center. Thursday night.
Next
and
Thursday.
It's at the light. Do you want to mention about that?
Next Thursday at the Hupatcong Community and Wellness
Resource and Wellness.
We know Resource and Wellness Center. We'll be showing it Into the Light. It's an hour-long documentary by the creator of the Change Direction campaign. It's about her story with her mother, who had a serious mental illness and was not in her life for many years, and how she went about finding her and the struggle, and about a young veteran returning from being overseas and how he figured out how to become part of society again by running across the country. So it's about their stories and their stories with other people, and just how everyone has some kind of emotional suffering in their life at one point or another, and how to get through it. So it's an hour-long documentary. It's free. There'll be speakers there from NAMI to talk about other resources in the community.
Especially veterans resources.
Right.
So everybody's welcome to come. It's right on next to the Rite Aid in the middle of town in Apacon. It's 6:30.
6:30 to 8:30. If you're interested in showing it in another community, we're more than happy to show it in other areas as well.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate all of you.
Can I ask that we get closer
Sure.
together for a
Choir.
close?
I think we need the little ones in front, right?
Many little ones.
I don't know if you can see it.
Can you get this in?
That's all right, I'm used to needing them.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over now, yeah.
Have the presentation for older Americans. So I need the proclamation, so I need the older Americans. Do we have any older Americans? No. My people. Our people. Okay. Whereas Sussex County is a community that includes approximately 31,580 citizens aged 60 and older who enrich our community through their diverse life experiences, and whereas Sussex County is committed to strengthening our community by connecting with and supporting older adults, their families, caregivers, and acknowledging their many valuable contributions to society. And whereas more than ever, older Americans are working longer, trying new things, and engaging in their communities while taking charge, striving for wellness, focusing on independence, and advocating for themselves and others. And whereas Sussex County recognizes the importance of bringing together all generations and engaging in activities that promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being for the benefit of all, and whereas Sussex County can enhance the lives of older Americans in our community by promoting home and community-based services that support independent living, involve older adults in community events and other activities, and providing opportunities for older adults to work, volunteer, learn, lead, and mentor. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex does hereby proclaim the month of May 2019 to be Older Americans Month in the County of Sussex, and urge every resident to take time this month to recognize older adults and people who serve them as essential and valuable members of our community. By order of Herb Yardley, Freeholder Director, Sylvia Patillo, Deputy Freeholder, Dawn Fantasia, Josh Hertzberg, and George Graham, Freeholder. Congratulations.
You get to read it again
Get
on
to
May
read it.
31st.
May 31st.
I just keep you busy.
Okay, want a picture, sir? Okay. Can we come here? All right.
Get closer.
Close it up.
Thank you.
There you
Thank
go.
you very much. Thank you.
Say anything?
Anything you'd like to say?
I would.
Go ahead.
I just want to,
She's so smart.
first of all, I think it's through the Congress that funded it, so we thank them and thank the freeholders for, having the opportunity to come here before you, and especially the Division of Senior Services. We cannot live without them. I mean, they are. Never take them away.
Anyone else would like to say anything? No? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Okay.
We believe you for your work.
Maybe not.
Yes, you can. Yeah. You can write for me.
Did we do a motion to
If you could do that.
Sure,
yeah, that
let's
would be
have a
great.
motion to adopt the proclamation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is a public hearing, final adoption, bond ordinance 005.
Bond ordinance providing for various 2019 capital improvements by and in the county of Sussex, state of New Jersey, appropriating $10,086,000, therefore, including a grant from the New Jersey Department of Transportation in the amount of $533,866, and authorizing $9,074,000 bonds or notes of the county to finance part of the costs thereof.
Okay. This is various capital improvements, including but not limited to improvements at the various county facilities, including the main library, road, garages, Concord House, improvements related to environmental remediation at locations throughout the county, acquisition and installation as applicable of equipment and non-passenger vehicles for various departments, and improvements to the county roads, bridges, all in accordance with the plans therefore on file in the office of the clerk of the Board of Judges Freeholders. And this, including grant, was included in our budget. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
It's open to the public. Anyone who wishes to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public. Do I have a motion to close?
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion that this ordinance be finally adopted. Roll call vote. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
First, we need the motion.
So,
Okay. Motion?
moved.
Okay, second?
second?
Okay. Roll call vote.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Motion to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as finally adopted and also post the same bulletin, same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the county administrative center. Do I have a motion?
Moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. The next one we have is final adoption. Okay, bond ordinance. You want to read that one?
Yes, bond ordinance 006. Bond ordinance providing for various general capital improvements at the Sussex County Technical School located within the county of Sussex, state of New Jersey, appropriating $316,552.56, therefore, and reappropriating excess bonds proceeds in the amount of $316,552.56 to finance all or a portion of the cost.
Okay. Before we open it to the public, various general capital improvements to Sussex County Technical School, including but not limited to bleachers, gym, floor improvements, acquisition, installation, and/or capital repair as applicable of equipment, not including but limited to a Mason dump truck, a loader, and auto program equipment. I believe that's in the engineering department. Classroom improvements and any facility or real property improvements. Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Open to the public. Anyone wishing to be heard on this ordinance? Okay. Do I have a motion to close the public session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion that this ordinance be finally adopted. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion? Roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Motion to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as finally adopted and also be posted on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administration Center. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have the final adoption of bond ordinance 007.
Bond ordinance providing for capital improvements to the Sussex County Technical School located within the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $246,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of $246,000 bonds or notes of the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, for financing of such appropriation.
This capital improvement to Sussex County Technical School building, including but not limited to acquisition and installation of applicable various equipment, including but not limited to a HAAS VF-2 machine and a AHAASCN machine. I believe these are the machines that cut metal, and you can make things out of them. It's pretty sophisticated equipment. Okay, I have a motion that the public hearing be opened.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to be heard on this ordinance? I'm going to close it to the public. I have a motion to close to the public.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion that this ordinance be finally adopted. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Motion to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as finally adopted and also to post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Final adoption of bond ordinance 008.
Bond ordinance amending bond ordinance number 18-02, providing for the undertaking of 2018 capital improvements at and for certain facilities of Sussex County Community College, which are entitled to state aid pursuant to Chapter 12 of the laws of New Jersey of 1971, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, on April 11, 2018, to amend the description therein.
Okay. Let's see, here. This is to amend the library and university center improvements and/or construction, include facility retrofitting improvements, retrofits, to amend dwelling facility improvements to include acquisition, installation, applicable of instruction equipment. Okay, motion to open it to the public.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
It's open to the public. Okay. Is anyone present that wish to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, we'll close it to the public. Motion to close it to the public. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion that this ordinance be finally adopted.
Second.
Roll call.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Motion to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as finally adopted and also post same bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's adopted. Final adoption capital ordinance 009.
Capital ordinance providing for communication information technology and general capital improvements and acquisition of equipment for various county-owned facilities in and for the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, and appropriating $1,189,506 from the Capital Improvement Fund to pay for the cost thereof.
Communications, information technology, and general capital improvements, acquisition of equipment for county-owned facilities at various locations throughout the county, including but not limited to information technology, general networking improvements, acquisition installations, applicable logarithm security appliances, data protection devices, automatic people counting system for communications improvement, acquisition installation of radio improvements for the Sheriff's Department, acquisition of a crash attenuator motor pool, also motor pool vehicle for the county, water collection system for certain Cochrane, water collection system for the Cochrane House, capital improvements for various county facilities, including but not limited to improvements to integrated security systems, including but not limited to Administrative Center, Wheatsworth Road, and various miscellaneous capital improvements, and also including work, materials, equipment, labor, appliances necessary therefore of. Okay. Motion to open to the public.
So second?
All in favor? Anyone present wish to address this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion to close it to the public.
Second.
All in favor? A motion the ordinance be finally adopted.
Second.
All in favor? Excuse me, roll call.
Freeholder Fantasia.
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley.
Yes. Motion to authorize the clerk to advertise, I would probably be able to do this in my sleep, I think. A motion to authorize the clerk to advertise, and putting people to sleep, to advertise this ordinance as finally adopted and also post the same bulletin board in the lobby of the county administrator's center. Do I have a motion for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It is approved. Public session from the floor.
Comments are limited to 5 minutes or less and must only address issues regarding agenda items. Please state your name and print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet, and please speak loud and clear.
Okay. Motion to open the public, open the floor to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, public now may speak on any item that's on the agenda. Anyone wish to speak on any item that's on the agenda? Okay, we're going to close it to the public. Motion to close the floor for the public comment and return to regular business.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public session is closed. Freeholder comments? Okay, so,
Start first. First, I want to congratulate the Lake Apacon Foundation and the 4 towns that surround Lake Apacon. They had another Lake Apacon block party this year. It was the first time I ever remember that the sun was shining. Usually it's pouring rain. They had over 3,000 people that came. And this is held at the State Park. It's open to anyone that wants to come. It's a great time because every possible business and organization and food truck and activity that you possibly have on the lake is there to present the boats and the skiing and everything else that goes with that, the bands, the 4 mayors talk. Every town is out there showcasing themselves and every organization. And you could spend a lot of hours walking through and talking to all of these people and just finding out how many volunteers we actually have that do all of the things that make Lake Apacon so wonderful. As a tourist attraction, just a great place to live. So I want to congratulate them. They were lucky for the sunshine, but to bring in 3,000 people is quite a mile marker for them. I want to mention that tomorrow at 7 to 9 p.m., Vernon, the paid organization that is against illegal dumping, will be holding a meeting open to the public, but made only for mayor and councils from different areas to discuss illegal dumping in Sussex County and how can we join together and make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's being held up in Vernon. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I think Lorraine, you mentioned it, is Senior Day. I'm selected on Wednesday. That is a phenomenal day, and seniors are great to be, that population is just great to be with. They always have a great attitude, they're happy, they enjoy everything.
Sylvia's May 31st.
May 31st, okay, I've got them wrong.
Yeah.
But can anyone just attend, do they have to sign up?
You have to sign up
Okay, and to who, to you?
to our office.
Okay, so you have to call senior
Yeah.
services? Okay, and then sign up to come to select it, and it's worth coming. It's really a wonderful day. And I want to thank you for all that you're doing, right? Because I know not only do you have this on your plate, but you've got the Senior Olympics that you started last year.
2 weeks after that.
And that's coming to Apacon as well this
Yeah.
year, so it's going to be a great celebration over there. And thank you for all that you and your staff do. So with that, I'll end.
Josh?
Sure. I'm going to start. I was Tuesday at Kittatinny High School for Trans Options Junior Solar Sprints, where 6th through 8th graders build solar cars and race them.
Wow.
It was a very cool event, very cool to see all the kids competing and how excited they were when their cars, won. And so it was really a neat experience to see kids using technology and using their minds to build stuff. And I brought my 4-year-old son, who immediately asked me to order him a solar car to build, so I'll be doing that over the weekend. More importantly, I met today with our CFO extraordinaire and auditor, and Greg Poff, our administrator, to talk about the financial plan and some of the stuff that we've all been talking about with each other and up here quite a bit. And we got to talk a little bit about the plan and go through the numbers. And although there's a lot of work to still do to put the numbers together, as I said last meeting, we would give you guys a brief overview of what we are looking to do. Two-part plan. One is a financial plan that we will use at budget time to reduce debt. That's the big key, right? So we talked about the debt and the problem with capital being all bonded. So right now, as you know, bonds aren't going to get cheaper, they're going to get more expensive. So the idea is that every year we put more money, pay as you go, into the budget so we're not borrowing. And every year we lower how much we borrow. It's a long-term plan, right? The plan is to do it the best we can without hurting the taxpayers. And in doing so, put ourselves in a good financial position to actually help the taxpayers and help the county and do good things. Right now, what we do, and we've talked about this 100 times, is what can we afford? How can we make it without going further into debt? We want to be in a position where, hey, what new things can we do for the residents of Sussex County? What new services can we provide? And we're just not there. It's going to take a long time, but the idea is every year putting more money into the capital budget to the point where now we're funding all projects via cash, and then as the years go by, the bonds will fall off and we'll be debt-free and completely pay as you go. Sounds great, but it's a long-term plan. But there's plenty of examples of townships and counties that have done it. So it's not rocket science. It's just being conservative and being honest with you guys and telling you, listen, it's not going to be comfortable. The idea is that it's not painful, but it's not going to be comfortable. But it's going to get us to where we should be, where the people of the Sussex County deserve to be. But part of that is not falling back into the old ways and having a solar project. So part of this plan will be a bonding ordinance where no third-party bonding. We will not bond for other people. Any bond that comes out of this county is for us and for you. But we have to control the bonding. Using Warren County as an example, we looked at what they had. Didn't really fit exactly for us. The numbers aren't the same, but we're going to use it as a model. We're going to build off of that. There's certain things that we need to bond for. If bridges are out, we need to fix those. There's certain safety items that need to be done for the residents. But there's also things that aren't necessarily needs, they're wants. And those are the things that have to get put aside before we can afford them. There'll be a time when we can afford the wants, and we want to do the wants, but we have to get there. And part of that will be setting those projects aside while we're being fiscally responsible. So, Herb, I told you that I'd report back. We got a lot of work done, found a lot more ways, and part of that will be a really hard look at the budgets next year. We're going to be asking a lot of people to sacrifice. We're going to be asking the county to sacrifice. We're going to be asking the taxpayers to sacrifice. It's going to be a little bit from everybody. One of the things that I know we talked about and I was going to recommend is a efficiency committee made up of the freeholder board and the employees. So when we're asking different departments, not just for them to sacrifice, but hey, where do you guys think we can find efficiency in the county and do better business? So that's one of the recommendations I'd like to make, is that we have a committee that works with the employees of the county to find those efficiencies so we can do our job maybe a little more efficient. But we have a second meeting planned. They're going to go back, they're going to crunch all the numbers, we're going to sit down, go through everything, and then present the final plan.
Okay, thank you. I believe that the plan's what this plan should do is to not do something for, say, political reasons. Any change of our reserve accounts that we voted on to make sure that we have over $16 million in reserve that we're required to do by law, takes a vote of the board to change that or to take money out of that. So that's a public action. Anything that and correct me if I'm wrong, and with this plan, we're going to vote on this, and as new boards come in, if they decide they want to go back to the old ways, they have to do a public and vote on it, correct?
For the bonding ordinance, that will be an actual ordinance. So if they want to change it, they're going to come have to tell you, hey, we want to borrow your money, and they're going to have to publicly do that. So yeah, we're going to put people on the spot to do the right thing.
Can I ask you a question? Is there a spot for any elected projects that would normally be put aside? Would any of that go to the voters if it's something that is a want from the community itself?
Right, so the idea is that, again, using the Warren County model, we based it on what our budget is compared to their budget. And when we figure out what that number is, you're correct, there'll be a number. And if there's something that the community wants or that we want and we think it's important, It's above that number, it's gotta go to the public, and it will go to a vote, and they'll decide.
Look forward to all of that information. See that Mr. Graham has joined us.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Just
Yeah.
one more on that
Yeah.
point, right, we're gonna set a limit for ourselves
Mhm.
and for the public bonding. But what we wanna do is tie that to the debt.
Mhm.
So there's a reward and incentive to pay down the debt. So as we put ourselves in a better financial shape, we allow ourselves to do bigger and better projects. But we're gonna limit ourselves while we're in the position we're in.
Okay. George, you have anything?
Just a short one. I attended NJAC meetings, I don't know if you've already talked about that.
No.
Oh, attended NJAC. NJAC is the New Jersey Association of Counties in Atlantic City, and every year they have a rolling seminars. It was an opportunity to not only learn things, but also to meet our peers in other counties and what works and has worked for them. And that's where you learn different things like what Josh was just talking about. You pick up things from other counties. I attended a seminar which was a little different than some of the ones I've attended in the past. This one had to do with recycling. I had read, or not read, I seen on 60 Minutes a number of weeks ago that the problem is that our recycling no longer has a place to go. China has shut off our recycling. And in shutting off the recycling, it has a ripple effect that could be very important to Sussex County. Sylvia and I worked about 10 years ago to try and keep our landfill open. The landfill was scheduled to shut down in 2017, 16. Yeah, supposed to shut down. And when Sylvia and I were both at council back in the 2000s, somewhere back there, we realized that our towns having trash pickup were going to be hit very, very hard in doing it. So what we have done is, and that's where bonding comes in, we did bond to expand our landfill. Our landfill now is going to be expanded to the point where, based on our use of both recycling and landfill trash, we can go out to about 2060. But with the backup of recycling, that is not to be. That may very well affect us because now we're going to start putting recycling back into the landfill because there's no place for it to go. It doesn't have a value in many ways. But one of the things that came out of this was something that has been sort of a little bit of a peeve of mine, is plastic bags, one-use plastic bags. If you don't know where they are, look in the trees. They're everywhere. I go through Hudson County, I see them everywhere. I go through Sussex County, and I see them everywhere. It's time for us to crack down on how these are being handled. In this seminar that I went to, they actually show going through the transfer stations just with the recycling stuff, all these things just wrap up. Don't wrap your recyclables in trash bags, in the plastic bags. The plastic bags are killing the recycling process. And I know this is kind of a strange thing, I'm not trying to lecture, it's just that I found this out the hard way. You look at it, but what concerns me is more of this recycling is now going to have no place to go, it's going to wind up going in a landfill. All these trash bags just make it worse. So it's kind of different than what I usually talk about, but we have to keep Sussex County beautiful. And the best way to pick up is go back to the old vision of the 1960s, Don't litter. But we have trash bags everywhere. If you see them, pick them up. If you see somebody using them, try and encourage them to carry their groceries in another bag. Every time we took these bags, they're just making it worse and worse in the entire fill of recycling. So that's all I have to.
Thank you. I just comment that I was very, very wealthy as a young man because I was able to go down the shore and go along the beaches and pick up those bottles that were a nickel.
Yeah.
Of course, cupcakes were a nickel and a dime. But I missed the bottles. Milk came in bottles, soda came in bottles. All those bottles and the deposits, and of course it was crazy for the retailers to take those back, but you didn't see them all over the place. And that's the problem we have. And I have to say that recycling, we need to do something with it. Dawn?
Okay, just a couple things about the NJAC conference as well. All 5 of us were there. I attended sessions regarding bonding and credit rating. There was a representative from Moody's. I also attended an interesting session, Ethics in Government, and I know we're exploring the option of a county ethics board. So I gathered some important information there. And probably the most interesting was changes to labor laws and personnel. And when Josh is referring to, finding inefficiencies, I'm very interested. I know we have some upcoming meetings about, certain inefficiencies that may be happening, regarding personnel and not the general labor, but the management of personnel. I'm very interested to see what kind of impact that could have on our future budgets. Also, congratulations to Sussex Tech. They had a culinary cook-off for culinary students. They go to the VOTech schools across the state, and Sussex Tech earned first place in 2 categories. In the first category, it was the judges from NJAC, and they judged them. They won the gold medal for their display. They built a classic, what appeared to be a fruit stand or farm stand with all fresh produce, and they passed the food out the window, and they made quail with a little terrine and wild rice. It was really good. So they actually won gold for that. But then they had professional chefs that went and judged, and they also took gold first place for their presentation of plating of their dish from all of the counties. So it was really great to see the kids down there. And I think they thought they were in a foreign country. I mean, they saw us, the face we recognized, but they thought they were a million miles away. So it was nice to see them. It was a great event. Next, as far as township liaisons, I visited Franklin for a few things. I went to their senior spring fling and congratulate Joseph Benet. He was the Franklin Senior of the Year. He's 90 years young, and he was there celebrating with his wife of 67 years, Doris. And he is an incredible historian. If there's anything you ever want to know about Franklin, you give him a call, because he shared a lot of stories that day. So congratulations to him. Also, at the meeting last night, I explained our plans as liaison, as the liaison to there. And I explained that I would like to also set up a meeting perhaps in June, where the 5 towns that I'm assigned to invite their mayor, their administrator for an evening meeting as well, in addition to meeting with them one-on-one, whatever fits in their schedule. So it was nice to roll that out there. On April 29th, I attended the Taste of Vernon. It wasn't just restaurants in Vernon, it was the surrounding areas as well. And it was a beautiful, beautiful setup at Heaven Hill Farm. So that was a great event. And then on April 27th, I went to the Sussex County Arts and Heritage Council. They had an exhibit called The Creative Women. It was their opening reception. They partnered with the American Association of University Women. Their gallery's right on Spring Street. And it was there for a few weeks, and met everybody from the Arts and Heritage Board. And they've actually included me now to attend their Board of Trustees meetings, which are on the 3rd Monday of every month. So that next meeting is May 20th, and I'm going to see if I can attend that. And last, there's an email that I think all of us got, but I know a lot of times, the freeholders don't directly impact our municipal schools, but I know it's on everybody's mind. So Kittatinny Regional Shared Service Committee sent us some communication talking about how education representatives in the Kittatinny region, so that would be Freedon, Hampton, Kittatinny Regional, Sanderson, Walpack, and Stillwater, that they created a committee in 2017, and we always talk about shared services, but they outlined some of what they are sharing, and that is staffing. They share administrators, teachers, and the child study team. They develop curriculum together, educational programming, professional development, security, transportation coordination, food services, and plant facility operations. So I think they just wanted to bring to our attention that they're keeping the taxpayer in mind. So even though we may have individual school districts, this appears to be an example of one district or surrounding region, the Kittatinny region, that's doing this buzzing. That's actually, moving forward in a very positive way. So I'm very interested to follow that. And last but not least, we were at the college this evening for their commencement. I'm sure Herb will talk more about that. I'm gonna
Go right ahead. You're doing good.
It was wonderful. Herb spoke, and he spoke eloquently. And I'm gonna turn that one to you. You took the horns with that. But it was quite a large graduating class. And they had a gentleman who is, what is his title? He is the president of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges. And actually, There's a meeting at the end of the month that Dr. Connolly has invited me to attend with him, with this gentleman and representatives from every community college in the state. So they're just talking about how they're also making a shift in ideology of how to best develop the workforce to meet the needs, kind of what we discussed at the last meeting. So I think that's pretty interesting. And that's what I have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think it's always great when you have people that are very eloquent and can explain things very well. I tend to be more meat and potatoes here, but so just a few things. You ever wonder what the director does? So April 15th, meeting with the clerk, and every Monday, the week before, we have an agenda meeting. It was at Ginny's house, April 17th in the morning for several hours because they had an event to bring out awareness on a lot of the programs that they have. And it was at workforce development. There is a strong need. That was in April 18th. There is a very strong need for employment. They can't get enough people that are in the trades to work in the trades. As a matter of fact, there are just labor positions that they're having trouble filling. So the work is there. We're at Yedder's Diner with Josh Hertzberg, and we were talking about the budget, and we were talking about the plan, the county plan. And a very interesting thing happened. We had some people asking us to lower the taxes and to do something about, bringing more businesses into their community. And really, they have to understand that when you live in a local community, the zoning and the plans are really, it's your town, and you need to go to your town on a lot of those issues. We had Bring Your Child to Work Day. We had was at the senior luncheon in Vernon Senior Luncheon. It was a very good event. There were 300 people there. Sussex County Education. I was at the Sussex County Education Legislative meeting in the evening. Town meeting for Oraho and Sweeney at the college. If anybody gets a chance to sit down and to listen to what they're saying, there's something called the Path for Progress. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Had a tour of the VOTEC and their engineering program last week. They have a great engineering program where you have hands-on. Not only do they do the engineering work, but you're actually working the machines that make what you're designing. And they're working on the submarine that they all typically go on. At the league, it was at the Freeholder and County Administrator meeting, and it was very interesting as to how the freeholders see the administrators and how the administrators can, what their jobs are. We tend to have, I think, more issues at times in Sussex County. I don't know why that is, but we do. Municipal bonds, it was at that. There's a clerical, by the way, it's another program, there's a clerical apprentice program that is funded by the state through the college. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of that. That's something that we should be looking to talk to the college about how that works. And the person there was Levada Stalsworth. He was the manager of New Jersey Civil Service Commission. So they're promoting this. You're able to bring those people in, and they're able to waive the requirements we have for civil service because it's a training program and they can get paid. Path to Progress, I'm going to get the website for this. It is a conglomerate, I shouldn't say that, it's a group of legislators, Democrat and Republican, small group, and comes out of Rutgers University. And it was Eugene Lepore, was the executive director of New Jersey Senate Majority, was there running this. And this is an operation which involves Republicans and Democrats talking about how to save money in New Jersey, how to save the pension system, how to modify health services without destroying health services. And what they had there was their presentation, which they took paragraphs this big, explaining things, and had them this big. And I asked them if they would put that on their website, because if you're going to ask me a question, and I could tell it to you in about 20 sentences or 10 sentences in simple terms, you're more apt to get people to say, oh, I understand what you're talking about. For example, changing the pension system and having people, a two-tier system, where people coming in that have 5 years or less would end up with two forms of a pension. One would be a PERS, a state system, and a private system. So to start moving people into a different methodology becomes very controversial, but when you actually see what they're saying, if the state can do it, it would be, there's some really interesting things coming down. Health Department, met with the Health Department, they're working on a program to improve or enhance the outreach to our veterans out there. And Ginny's house I was at this morning. I feel like Sylvia.
Yes.
This evening, there were, I think, almost 400 graduated students from community colleges. I am going to suggest that we forego our annual meeting with municipalities and utilize municipal liaisons to host some regional meetings rather than having the one meeting we had. We're going to be on the road June 26th. We'll go to Branchville Municipal Building, July 24th, Ogdensburg Building, and Andover Township is unable to accommodate us this year, so we'll probably have those two. The Municipal Bulletin Board theme for the fair will be top 5 reasons to live in a municipality. So it's your town. USDA designate Bergen, Passaic, and Susquehanna as contiguous. My mouth's not working today. A natural disaster area. Producers who suffered losses caused by excessive rain that occurred on July 18 may be eligible for farm loans and subsidies. December, the end of this year, is the deadline to apply for that. And April 30, attended the town hall meeting by, I said that already, Sweeney and Oroho, Path to Progress. So that's my report for tonight.
I just want to say what Herb was saying when he said he feels like Sylvia. I get reprimanded when I speak on comments too long, so I tend to keep mine short.
Yes. We actually yell at Sylvia and tell her, okay,
Don't talk so much.
not talking. You do a good job, we appreciate that. Okay, I need a motion here. Let's see, we are resolutions, so I need a motion.
Consent agenda.
Yes. Consent agenda.
The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex have reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any freeholder would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda A to F?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
The approval of minutes, a motion to approve the minutes, a regular meeting, April 24, 2019. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Were you there?
What's that?
I don't know if that was in the I think it was there. I missed the early. I was there. Second. Second, I was
All
there.
right. All in favor?
Wait, I'm sorry, who said second? You also
I
said?
George.
Okay.
I second.
Motion to approve executive session, April 24, 2019. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, a motion to adopt appointments A and B. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Discussion?
Okay.
I have just something that I wanted to say about this. We have 2 vacancies on SCUMA that have been vacant for a period of time. I know the 3 largest consumers for SCUMA are Vernon, Franklin, and Sparta. Currently, Vernon has representation on the SCUMA board. So I felt it important to have representation in Franklin and Sparta. I can speak for the individual that is on this for Franklin Borough, Robert Davenette. He's been a councilman in Franklin for 12 years. He worked as a pipe fitter. He was part of Pipe Fitters Local Union 274. He's been head of our Franklin Borough Public Utilities Committee. And he also has been a member of our Planning Board, Finance Committee, Police and Fire Committee. And he has worked his entire life in foreman training, plumbing courses, estimating, roads, sewer, etc. So I could not think of a better person to submit his information to us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Resolutions. Okay. Second. Motion to adopt contracts A to C.
No, sorry.
Resolutions.
It's number 13, on 13.
I got it. Yep, motion to adopt resolutions A to C.
This will move.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Awards of contracts and change order bids. A motion to adopt
I'm
contract.
sorry, excuse me, Freeholder Director, I just
Yeah.
have to say that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change order bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolution is in and will further the public interest. If any freeholder would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now.
Okay. So we have a motion to adopt. Adopt resolutions A to C.
That was 13, A through C. We're looking for a motion for
For 86.
14, A through C.
Yeah,
I'll move
14.
that.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder,
Oops, sorry.
that's, Freeholder Hertzberg?
My turn? Yes.
Yes. Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Okay, resolution for payment of the bills. We have a motion to
So
approve the
moved.
bills.
Second. Pay the bills.
Okay, roll call.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Yes. Okay. Resolution B.
Modifying approval of the 2019 County Farmland Preservation, Recreation, and Open Space Trust Fund levy.
Okay. And this is a motion to approve the resolution. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo? Freeholder Director Yardley?
Anybody?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes. Resolution C, resolution determining the form and other details of the offering of $27,083,000 general obligation bonds consisting of $20,572,000 general improvement bond, Series 2019, $3,511,000 vocational technical school bonds, Series 2019, and $3 million county college bonds, Series 2019. College County Bond Act 1971, New Jersey Law, Chapter 12 as amended, of the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, and providing for the sale of such bonds, and additionally determined certain matters with respect to the sale and issuance of $14,133,000 bond anticipation notes.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Graham?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley?
Okay. Personnel. Authorizing personnel agenda of May 15th. Motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Freeholder Fantasia.
Yes.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Yardley.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Somewhat related to the personnel, and not necessarily this personnel agenda, but I just wanted to acknowledge receipt of letters that came from employees at different times, and just to reiterate that I myself, I can't speak for the entire board, but I always welcome any direct communication from my employees for any issue.
Thank you. All right. Administrative report, there's none. County council?
Just briefly, as you know, the excuse me, the consent agenda had the professional services agreement for the opioid litigation tonight. There was a representative of the firm, Corella Byrne, that we had met with before. There were obviously no questions, and we'll be starting right away with that.
Great.
Thank you for the vote.
And along with that, I'd like to mention that it was yesterday morning or this morning that on Fox News, I guess I can say that, right? I was watching Fox News and they reported that there have been 40 states are now suing the pharmaceutical companies for price fixing.
It's,
As well.
Yeah, as well as the opioid
As a line.
epidemic.
Well, you saw in the federal court in Boston that there was that, I sent that article around, that conviction of the CEO of the pharmaceutical company in a criminal case.
yeah, stuff is picking up steam.
It was almost every day.
It's about time.
Okay, unfinished business, new business? No. Public session from the floor.
Everyone is asked to keep their comments to 5 minutes. Please state your name and print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet, and please speak loud and clear.
Motion to open the floor for public comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, floor is open.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board, my name is Bob Davenett, and tonight you gave me the honor of sitting on the Sussex County Municipal Sewer Authority. If you don't know me, I've been a resident of Franklin for 46 years. I was councilman in Franklin from 1977 to 1985. I chaired the Board of Public Works through those years, from the inception of our sewer and the sewer plant. I was there when the treatment plant was built. I was there and met the first SCMUA group that was named by the freeholders in those days. It was Mr. Ed Zukowski and Joe Keslow, and I think it was Mr. Campbell. But I think it was the first SCMUA board that was named. I've got a background in construction. I've been a union pipe fitter and welder all my life. I think I bring a lot to the table, but I'm honored to accept this position, and I will do everything in my power to honestly and diligently work for the people of Sussex County. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving.
Thank
Yes,
you.
My
absolutely.
Anyone else wish to address the field?
Did you leave the papers? Herman Tocher, Sussex. I got a request for one of the freeholders to be at High Point on June 30th, the last Sunday in June, for a veterans get-together up there, for statewide. We have one every year, and last Sunday in June at High Point State Park at 1 o'clock.
Do you have more than one?
So I just, since I'm the vice chairman of the committee for High Point for the American Legion, I figured I better be here.
Yeah, and I would just like to add, make sure you wear
There's something.
clothes that you could, I almost lost my skirt. I mean, the wind was so, I took my scarf and tied my skirt. I never saw anything like it. The wind was just taking
Oh, yeah.
bodies
Oh, yeah.
away.
And that wasn't the windiest one.
No.
There's another
We've had some good ones, we've had some
Right, but this one, we have more than one free, you're asking for one, but we always have more than one free.
Okay.
The-
I'm supposed to be here and make a request, so I'm here.
We're,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
What day is that again?
Herman, you're coming up on your busiest time of the year, aren't you?
Sunday.
Don't you hit all the different towns?
June 30th.
Oh,
Yeah, they come from all over the state.
No, I mean you. Don't you have to, between now and Memorial Day, you're all over.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Please sign in.
My name is David Hammerhodges. I'm the CWA 1032 staff representative here. I'd like to speak to you guys about an issue that has arisen as of today, slightly before today, but that is now pressing, because I have a member in the room here at the back, Courtney Lockburner, who we believe is having her position discontinued as a direct violation of the contract to begin with. And furthermore, we also believe that this is happening a week after she filed 3 grievances as a result of her contractual rights not being honored. So I wanted this to be highlighted because I believe that this is part of what is becoming a more sort of difficult relationship with the county administrator as well as the human resources director here. And we have asked for, we filed a grievance on this, and we've asked for some manner of communication on it and have received nothing from them at this point. And I find that troubling because her last day is today, apparently. So I wanted to bring that to the freeholders' attention because there's a problem there when I'm not getting a response about somebody losing their job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the board?
And also, just to finish up, like invite you guys, you're welcome to speak to me directly about any of these if you have any questions.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Anyone else wish to address the board?
Bill Gettler, Wattage, made a revision to your open space resolution. Relatively minor point with major learning exercise. The resolution that was adopted back in April was totally wrong. But 5 people voted for it. The same resolution, or similar resolution, was adopted last year. I assume 5 freeholders voted for it. Doesn't anybody read anything before they vote on it? Now, I would prefer you go back to the way it was before you just modified it. The resolution read it was going to have a 0.00227 or so tax rate. Cent per 100 tax rate. Very simple arithmetic. That becomes 0.0000227 dollars per 100 tax rate. I love it, because on our tax bill, it's a 3-digit decimal. We would have gotten a 0 tax rate. Apparently last year, in violation of law, the county tax administrator took what you certified and changed it on her own volition. Is there anybody in the county doing their job properly? I thank you for correcting your resolution because it should have been corrected, but I don't like the fact that now we're going to be taxed, whereas under what you had actually adopted, we would have gotten a zero tax rate. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the freeholders? Motion to close public session? Sorry? Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Reminder, all the meeting reminders are posted on the county website for the meetings. Executive session, do we have executive tonight?
Yes, we do.
We do, okay. Motion to go into executive session.
So,
Oh, sorry, let me just read the
Second read it.
resolution.
Yes, read it.
Whereas the subject matter about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of Chosen Freeholders as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12, B and and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of Chosen Freeholders to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12, B and NJSA 10:14-13, that the board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12, B and as designated. Item 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege, Mountain Creek Resort and Rosef versus the County of Sussex. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the board has entered into the executive session, the board will not reconvene and resume in open session to the public, except to adjourn the regular meeting in executive session.
Okay, do you have a motion?
so moved.
Second?
Second.
Favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we come to executive.
Yeah.